Hey guys, welcome back to another Skate video, and today we're gonna have a look at a few things that you can do in Season 3 of Skate, but that might be flying a bit under your radar, so you might have not noticed them so far. And we're gonna get right in with a question that I got under the last video that I did to Season 3, and here some of you guys were asking where you can actually find the Legacy Pass now, because in every season you can still do the Skate Pass of the former season if you haven't completed it yet. And in the former season this was right below the normal pass here, but obviously this is gone. But where you can find it now is in the bottom right corner. There it says press square for Legacy Skate Pass, and if you play with an Xbox controller it's probably a different button. So if I press square now, I'm coming to the Legacy Skate Pass. It's a bit hidden now, so in case you were wondering or you thought that they removed the Legacy Pass, it was not removed, it's just somewhere else now. So you can still do the Season 2 pass, for example, but you will not be able to do the Season 1 pass. This access has expired now. You can always only do the pass of the former season. Next up, we have a few new settings that might be interesting for you, and the first one is for the PC players. You can find under graphics, and when you scroll down here you can find target render frame rate, and this can now be set to 240 FPS. So this is basically the uncapped frame rate, and you can get, well, as much as your PC can handle from this, up to 240 FPS, and this actually makes the whole game a lot smoother, and I'm happy they finally added this. Plus, VSync was now automatically set to on, so this is on by default now. If you should not want this, you have to turn it off now. The game might have set it to on as well with the start of the season. Also for PC, you can find under graphics settings is a new global setting, so you have the global graphics quality. And this is now for minimum available because they changed the minimum specs for Skate with Season 3, probably because they changed the graphics or they improved the graphics over time, also in Season 2 already, but now even more with Season 3. The textures are more gritty and more intense, and they added more dirt and everything. So everything looks a little bit more realistic, and I think that this also upped the requirements that your PC should have in order to run this game. So what they've done that you can also run this game with your low-end PC is that now you have to use this minimum graphics settings. That's what the minimum looks like. You can definitely see a difference here as compared to the ultra setting. So if you have any problems running this game, maybe check your graphics settings and maybe try out the new minimum setting. Then under social settings, so when you go to the social tab and then over to the settings, you can now also find limited party collision, and this is disabled by default. And of course it only works when you are in a party. It doesn't work when you're not in a party, but this is possible now. However, you need to know that everyone in the party needs to have this enabled for it to work. If someone turns it off, then no one in the party has collision anymore. What's also new is that next to the name tags of people, you now have a symbol of what they're doing. So this one right here, for example, has just sent me a friend request. What kind of coincidence is this? But I had my Andy right here, for example, he's AFK right now. So this symbol behind that name tag indicates in what kind of activity that person is right now. But of course, in order to see this, you would have to enable name tags. If you have it turned off, you will not see it, of course. And another social setting, or not a setting, but another social, I don't know, mechanic or effect that was added is that when you've done a challenge and you have the celebration screen at the end, you can now use gestures in this celebration screen. And then the last setting that we got in Season 3 is connected to the dark slides, so the new trick that we got, and you can find it under gameplay and then controls, and just scroll down until you find enable legacy dark catch control. And by default this is turned off, which means when you get into a dark catch, you just hold R1 or RB, or you hold it before you actually get into the trick, and then as soon as you release it, you will get out of the dark catch. And with this option disabled right here, like it is by default, you also have the option to hold dark slide. And this means that by default it is turned off, so you won't have to hold anything when you are in a dark slide. But what happens when you turn this on is that you have to hold RB or R1 the whole time in order to hold this dark slide as well. But what you can do as well is enable legacy dark catch controls. And this means that this will enable the toggle style controls from Skate 3. And what this basically does is that when you do this dark catch and you release the RB button, then it doesn't release the catch. You have to do the flip that happens after the dark catch manually in order to get out of that dark catch. It just makes things, it gives you more control, but it also makes things a little more complicated in my opinion. And lastly, we also got a few new interesting spots with Season 3, and I'm not going to the Isle of Grom here. I don't mean the Isle of Grom. I mean the parking garage, for example. It's just one spot that we got. So this one is right here. That's one of the entrances at least. Now this is a completely new spot here. It's not too much. It has a nice curb here you can use for slab piece. Here's the M Corp tower with the crane on top, and this is the other entrance. So this is just your direct way through this block right here. There's some nice little stuff here, like these holes for example. They are more or less skatable. What's also new is that we have new interactable objects now. So you can also position the arms of those gates now. There are a lot of those poles that look like they are skatable, obviously. And you can reposition them as well now, so you can just turn them around. There are a lot of them, so just keep an eye open. If it looks like it could be skatable, then it is for sure something you can reposition. And here's another one, for example, another one of those poles that you can reposition. So you could just turn them the other way around and then make them more skatable. Or here right in front of, well, again, the M Corp building. There's one as well. You can just turn around. So you see that the world is slowly changing and is slowly, I would say, evolving. And it's getting more and more skatable. There is more and more like interesting stuff added. It's not only getting more realistic, but it's also getting more interactive, which I think is great. I love all of these little details where you can just go over and it's like, can I interact with this? Maybe I can, maybe not. It's just they slowly add more life to this. I hope they keep going like this and that the world will keep evolving. And hopefully our characters as well, because the world is looking more realistic now than our characters do. But I hope they can keep up with this as well. And a little fun fact right at the end, you can even skate the water taxi. Because it has this little ramp right here at the end, or on top of it. So if you want to, you can even skate this now. But yeah, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed these little things that might have been flying under your radar, maybe not. If there is something I forgot, tell me in the comments below. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye.